Hello, dear friends, how are you? We humans are seen struggling and striving to meet our needs and, of course, our desires as well. Some of the desires vary from person to person that you have this desire and I don't have it. While another, some of these are very, very common. And one of these very common desires is that I want to be respected. The people around me or the society around me, they should respect me. And I should be held, I should be considered a respectable person in the society. So that is a desire which is very very common. Almost every individual is carrying this desire. So we are seen doing plenty of things just for this purpose, that I should be respected by the people. Look upon the kind of dresses we are seen wearing, and we want to wear a good dress. But as soon as we do come home, what we do is usually we change. The first thing we do at our home is, or one of the first things we do at our home is that we change. And we change our dress and we wear according to our home. So why? Because we want to be respected by the people, and we are seen, you know, constructing the big houses, the luxury vehicles, and plenty of other things for the purpose of being respected from the people, from the society. So, if at all this desire is so common and so strong in almost all of us, inside all of us, so that's why we are going to talk about it. How to be respected in the society, how to be able to earn the respect from many of the people in the society. So, that is the topic of our discussion. And while we are going to talk about this topic, there are certain things which are there are certain segments of it are today's talk. There are several aspects of this work, and the first aspect is that is our verbal communication. Whatever we communicate by uttering certain words from our mouth, so that is one thing which we have to take care of. The second thing which is so important in this respect, and that is the non-verbal communication. The first thing is the verbal communication, and the second is the non-verbal communication. The third is our actions. The third thing is our actions, and the fourth things are our character traits and character traits. So the four of these things, by taking care, the four of these things, we will be considered as a genuinely respect worthy person. And obviously the people will like to respect us. They will like the respect or the love will be generated for us in the minds and the hearts of the people. So let's talk about the verbal communication first of all. What is to be taken care of while verbally communicating with other people? There are five things to be taken care of, and the first one is that speak clearly and confidently. Speaking clearly and confidently, that is the first thing to be taken care of. Why, speaking clearly, it should be clear. Whatever we are talking, whatever we want to communicate, it should be easy to communicate, and of course it should be done in a confident manner as well. Speak clearly and speak confidently. Number 2, while talking about the verbal communication, the second thing is listen actively. Excuse me. Listening actively, and active listening is very important indeed. What is active listening? It is pay full of your attention while somebody is talking, and during their talk, do not try to try to think that what I have to say in response for all that, or to counter whatever this person is saying. Rather, try to find certain clarifying questions if it is needed to get certain points more clear. For that is called active listening. As for the verbal communication is concerned, the second thing to be taken care of is the active listening. And then the third thing, while we are talking about the verbal communication, the third thing to be taken care of, it is the usage of respectful tone and language. Using the respectful tone and language, that is, we should be respectful. The words we are using should be respectful. The tone we are using should be a respectful one. And the fourth item, while we are talking about while talking about the verbal communication, the fourth item is avoid gossip and negativity. Avoiding gossip and negativity, it is it will reach there. Whatever we are gossiping about somebody in their absence, and the gossip is done in the somebody's absence, it will reach there from one side or the other, even if at all in a very unknowing manner. For that, otherwise too, it is not something good at all. Now, the fifth and the last point, as for the verbal communication is concerned, the fifth and the last point is keep your promises and keep your commitments. Keeping your promises and keeping your commitments, because if at all we don't keep our promises or commitment, that will be a hell. So these are the five major points about the verbal communication. Our verbal communication will become a very good one if at all we do take care of the five of these points. Now, moving to the next segment, and that is about the non verbal communication. What should be there in our non verbal communication? What things to be taken care of? There are five things to be taken care of as far the non verbal communication is concerned. The first thing is maintain eye contact. Maintaining eye contact, in a friendly manner, maintain the eye contact. That is the number one thing as for the non-verbal communication is concerned. Now, the second thing about the non-verbal communication, it is that smile and show genuine interest. Smiling on the one hand and showing of genuine interest. Smile makes our face beautiful enough. Smiling, and if at all we are smiling at somebody, and it means that we like this particular person. Smile and show genuine interest. That is the third thing as for the non-verbal communication is concerned. The fourth point that in the non-verbal communication is use open and approachable body language. Usage of open and approachable body language. Some of the people are seen crossing their hands or crossing their legs. Both of these things are considered bad, and it means that you are not approachable and you are not showing an open body language. The fifth and the last point, as for the non-verbal communication is concerned, it is about dress appropriately and groom well. Dress appropriately and groom well. That is what we need to take care of. Appropriately mean according to the occasion. So groom well. So the five of these points as for the non-verbal communication is concerned. And the third segment of our today's talk, that is about actions. And while talking about the actions, again there are five simple points. The number one point is be reliable and be dependable. Being reliable on the one hand and being dependable on the other hand. So reliability and dependability mean that if at all you don't want to do something or you are not capable enough, don't make any such promise at all. Rather, tell them very clearly, this is not what I want to do, or this is not what I am capable of doing. So communicate it clearly, or don't let unnecessary expectations be generated on the other side. Be reliable and dependable as for the actions is concerned. It is the number one point. Number two point is take responsibility for your mistakes. To err is human. We are humans and we do make mistakes. But if at all a mistake has been done, intentionally, unintentionally, take responsibility for your mistakes instead of denying it, instead of framing someone else for that, instead of blaming somebody else for that. Take responsibility for your mistake. Now the item number 4, the point number 4, as for the actions are concerned, it is about set boundaries and assert yourself. Setting boundaries on the one hand, asserting yourself on the other hand. We all of us are very limited person and having very limited resources, very limited amount of time, very limited amount of energy. So keeping in view all that, we have to set boundaries. All of us want to be respected, all of us. So for that reason it is extremely important that we not only set the boundaries, we make the rules, the regulations. That is very important. Up to this extent I can do and not beyond that at all. Up to this extent you are allowed and not beyond that at all. And that is the setting of boundaries. Not only we need to set the boundaries, rather we need to communicate it very clearly, and we need to assert it, we need to insist it, that these are my boundaries. I have clearly communicated it to you, and I will definitely enforce it. So these are the five things as far our actions is concerned. We talked about the verbal communication and the 5 points about it. We talked the non-verbal communication and the finest 5 points about it. We talked about our actions and again we presented the five important points about it. Now we are going to talk about the character traits. There are certain character traits which are very important, which must be created inside us. And the number one character trait is that is called integrity. Integrity. Be honest and be transparent. Being honest on the one hand and being transparent on the other hand. So that is called integrity. So we must have the number one point as for the character traits are concerned. It is the integrity. Now, the second point is authenticity. Authenticity means be yourself. And what is meant by being yourself? It means that don't show, don't pose, don't impersonate. Do not pose, do not impersonate, rather, show always your genuine self, whatever it is. Don't try to wear the mask at all. Now, excuse me. The third point, as for the character traits are concerned, it is the stay grounded. It is the humility. The third point, as for the character traits are concerned, it is the humility. Stay grounded and stay modest. Staying grounded on the one hand and staying modest and grounded on the other hand. Never brag, never do the bragging, never be arrogant. Always show humility. Stay grounded and modest. The fourth item, the fourth point, as for the character traits are concerned, it is the empathy. Empathy stands for understand and care for others. Trying to understand others, trying to understand their perspective, try to wear their shoes, try to put yourself into the shoes of the other people so that you are better able to understand what they are feeling, what is their perspective, and being a bit careful about those, giving them a bit of care as well. The fifth and the last item, as for the accountability is concerned, it is the fifth and the last item, as for the character traits are concerned. It is the accountability. And accountability means own up to your actions. Whatever you said, whatever you did, never disown it. If it was wrong, then there are certain other ways to get the other people compensated or felt okay. But initially, we do have to own up to our actions and we don't have to disown it at all. Never disown your action at all. So, these are the five character traits of those people who are seen getting enough amount of respect in the society. Now, the last item, the last segment, as for our today's discussion about being respected by the people in the society. So, that is certain simple reminders. Certain simple reminders. Number one, the simple reminder is that treat others how you want to be treated. Treating others the way you want to be treated, that is the number one thing, as a simple reminder. The second simple reminder is respect others time, the time of other people and the opinions of other people as well. Having respect for the time of other people and for the for the opinions of other people as well. Even if at all you disagree, you can carry on your own opinion if you want to, but at the same time, as for respect for the time and the opinion of other people is concerned, that is another simple thing to simple reminder. And the third simple reminder is apologize when needed. Seek apology when it is needed. Never be shy of doing that. Do not consider it as an insult to yourself, not at all. Always be ready to apologize if it is needed. If at all somebody made a mistake, then what is needed here is seeking a humble, genuine apology, and that is apologize when needed. That is the third point as a simple reminder. The fourth simple reminder is that show gratitude and appreciation. Showing off gratitude and showing off appreciation. Every time somebody has done anything good with us, we must be grateful to those people. Never be an ungrateful person at all. And also, we need to show the appreciation if at all somebody is doing a good thing, not with us, but otherwise, either with themselves or in the society for somebody. I think they deserve the appreciation, and never be miser, never be stingy as far appreciating somebody is concerned. Always be willing to appreciate somebody. Always be willing to show the gratitude. Never be ungrateful person. Be a grateful person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to our parents and to the rest of the people who ever have done the good thing with us, no matter how small it is. We need to be grateful to those people. And now, the fifth and the last point, as a simple reminder, it is be consistent in your words and actions. Being consistent in your words and in your actions. There should be there should be a consistency between our words and actions. Also, if at all we want to do something good, it is far better if we are doing it in a routine on a consistent basis, or there shouldn't be any sort of contradiction between what we say and what we do. So that is be consistent in your words and actions. So there were certain very important segments as for our today's discussion about the being respected by the people in the society. And firstly, we talked about the verbal communication, 5 points of it. Then we spoke about the non-verbal communication, and again the 5 points of it. Then we talked about the action and the 5 points about it. Then lastly, we talked about the character traits and the 5 points of it. And then at the end of all that, there were certain reminders, and these two were five of these. I think that anybody and everybody who want to be respected in the society, who want to earn the respect, who want to make a place for themselves in the mind and the hearts of the people. So this is the simple and the easy to follow agenda. I think that is something great for all those people who are genuinely committed and genuinely interested in being respected by the people in the society. That is all from me today. Thank you very much.